Welcome back, trainers, and today we've got a cool new team for the Halloween Cup. Now this cup I've been kind of up and down in, and obviously in a meta that's Psychic, Dark and Bug. It's going to be quite an RPS cup. That's what's quite cool about this team. Escav and Wormadam and Azu kind of all have play into most things. You'll find that there are a few core breakers and there are, a lot of bad leads, but we're going to talk about how we play through them. Let's dive into the battles. So first up, we have Nidoqueen on the lead, and Escav wins this in all even shield scenarios, even though Nidoqueen baits almost all the time, but you outpace them, right? So a draw run does 70% to a normal Nido, 82 to a Shadow, and Earth Power does 66 from the normal Nido, so you can actually live one there, but it's a bit risky to no shield, because Escav is, as you can see, kind of the softest thing on our team, so we probably want to invest our shields on Escav and use the other two to soak. They bring in a Charger Bug, which, we really don't want this on Azu, but the problem I found with Wormadam, even though it's got such a nice typing in this meta, and the confusion damage is really good into the poison types, it just paces so slowly to the moves that in the zeros it does really well, but as soon as you start investing shields, or the opponent does, you just get outpaced severely. This line, it looks like double electric, and we have a shield advantage, right? So I'm going to come in here with Azu, try and build up some energy, because Azu also paces really slowly, right? We can easily eat a move here, and then I think I'm going to just go in and attack Toxicroak. Build up to an Ice Beam, and then try to catch here, but they trying to farm me down and get to 2 moves. We're going to get to the draw run. This easily takes out the Gulf. And then Nidoqueen comes back, and they're going to be able to farm us all the way down here, but we stored this Ice Beam. Now what I should have done here, I know I lose CMP, so I should have thrown one bubble, because a free bubble is going to be quite clutch, you'll see now. But we throw on the CMP, and we just barely farm them down before they get to the second move. Next lead Scizor. This is great. Escav you really want it on the dark types or any of the bug steel types, and they bring in a Golurk, and now obviously Azu does really well into this, but I'm scared. Some of them I've seen run Earth Power, and if they Earth Power me, I'm in trouble, right? But I'm assuming they're gonna possibly get to the Earth Power and a bait, so I'll call a bait here, and now I'll just say I'm gonna one shield and farm down. They bring back in the Scizor, and you can also consider running Hydro Pump on you. Azu is one of those Pokemon that, no matter what moveset you run, you're always going to come into a position where you wish you had the other move. So versus stuff like Carbink, and the other bug steals, really wish you had the Hydro, but the Play Rough came in really clutch, and the Ice Beam against things like Dragalge also really helpful. We're going to farm them down, and we over-tap somehow there, and they sneak in this, but this is why I like Mega Horn, right? A lot of the opponents assume I'm running Acid Spray, and so I have to do 2 draw runs, but I just Mega Horn them, and this game is unwinnable for them. And we are going to Confusion down the bulkiest Dark type in the meta. Wormadam itself also rather bulky. What's quite sad though is, in the 1s and 2s, Umbreon is easily going to take this, because you just get outpaced so heavily and you need 2 bug buzzers. Okay, into the next lead, Carbink lead. So, I was still learning this team, but I presumed I needed to stay in here, because they're going to have, like Nidoqueen answers in the back, which I think will do well into Escav also. So we're just going to stay in here. We're going to farm up to 9 to throw on the CMP. We're definitely going to shield this, because Escav is super squishy. And now it takes Carbink 9 for every Rock Slide and 12 for every Moonblast, so we're going to farm all the way back up, and they safe switch into a Toxicroak. And we've got a perfect answer for this. My bomb is only going to do like 20%, so we easily tank that and farm them all the way down. Now they can't really bring in Carbink, right, because this Iron Hair is going to hit for double super effective. So they bring in a Mandibuzz, and this is amazing. We've now got a switch, so we can put our Azu on this and keep the... something weird happens then, we lag, but it doesn't really matter, right? We don't need that damage. We bring in Azu here. If they bring in Carbink, we're just going to sack I actually build up and throw the play rough here, where I could have just gone straight into our Azu to eat this damage and farm up, but they know it's over. Mandy's got nothing to do against a full HP Azu. It's Zweilous lead, and I play this game kind of horrific. They come into goal back, and I do 2 counters, which is kind of bad. You know, I should be swapping a bit faster. But we have a good response to this, and I could consider 2 shielding and farming down, but I think I would rather, 1 shielding and farming down, throw the Iron Head and see what they want to do. And because they let that go, I know this is just a Poison Fang, we can easily eat this and keep switch. But they're going to bring in, and you'll see I make a huge mistake here, they bring back in this Zweilous for a big farm down. This energy is quite scary, right? I get to the Iron Head, and I thought the Iron Head and the Bug Buzz were the same energy, so I over tap there. Well, I know Bug Buzz is more expensive, but sometimes you get to them on the same time. Anyway, so I hope this is a Dark Pulse, and it is, and they're going to bring in a Nidoqueen. They swap, and for some reason I see the ground typing and is to swap to Azu. And this is horrific, right? I should just keep Azu for the dragon. Even though that matchup isn't amazing because they resist the bubbles and they have body slam that they severely outpace you to. We're not even going to get the second shield here, and you'll see this is going to be kind of close. So they throw the Poison Fang to take us out, and now we need to get to 2 jaw runs. I'm going to overfarm a bit and throw on the CMP, and you know, I'm hoping they don't bait, but it's so risky to no shield this, because if they do Earth Power we just lose on the spot, right? They throw the Poison Fang, and now I'm going to farm up a bit, try and make sure they don't catch. I should have overfarmed a bit more there, but I kind of lost count, and they're going to bring back in their Zweilous, and now you're going to see I just barely get outpaced here, and because of the debuff, this body slam, even though resist is going to take us out. So great lead, even with a good save swap, but coming Azu into that Nidoqueen through the game. Okay, another good lead. They're going to bring in the Dragalge, and I want to grab a shield from them here, but they outpace, so that's kind of stupid. I should just go straight into Azu, and at the time of playing this, there were so many Dragalges, and none of them had Gunk Shot, so I think that might change. Which is why I'm scared to keep running Azu, because I've seen it quite a few now, and I think people are the meta's going to shift to deal with Azu, because it found so many good matchups in the back. There was a few times there was just Toxapex in the back, and with, that's devastating. Top left time immediately. Look at that. Outrage does like 15%. For interest's sake, so I try to undercharge this to farm them down, but I undercharge it. Okay, no, it was a different game. I undercharged it too much. That's fine. We were going to farm them down and come on with 100 energy. They bring in the Worm. Now, it's not a big difference between the Ice Beam and the Play Rough, but Play Rough is more energy efficient by like 0.5%, but that is the move you want to be throwing when they're both resisted or equal effectiveness. We're going to bring in our Escav here, and Escav has a pretty dominant matchup here. When shields are up, right, Escav is very squishy, so shields down, it just even resisted damage, it doesn't really understand the meaning of. I'm going to come in here and try and get the farm down, and they have, again, this is terrible, right? In the zeros, you destroy Charger Bug, but the second there's shields in play, you just get outpaced so heavily that you're not going to make it. So interestingly enough, in the zeros, you throw straight Bug Buzz and you easily take them out. In the twos, you can 2 shield, throw 0 moves, and farm them down. If you throw 1 move, they get to a 3rd move that will take you out, or a 4th move. But yeah, we've stored the Play Rough on the Azu. This is going to take out just barely, and their mons are super low. We've got a shield. Even though this is heavily resisted damage, it's the only thing that is going to take us out, and we are just able to take them out before their second confusion registers. Dragalge lead. So this is another good matchup. They can't survive a draw run, right? But you can survive an Aqua Tail. So in the ones you win, because they have to shield both. They outpace you, so you and the zeros you'll win, right? So even though we have better answers for this in the back, assuming that we can get 2 shields here and then have a shield advantage for our mons in the back. but we won't have Switch. And Switch, I found, is actually incredibly important for this backline, because, you know, if it's a Tentacruel or Nidoqueen or something, Nidoqueen you actually have play into, but if it's a water poison, Azu is just destroyed. So they come in with Charger Bug. We're going to swap out here. We're going to be able to take this out. I'm going to overfarm a little bit, and so bad, because now they make it to this second move, and it's a bait, which I knew, but you know, I'm getting too low now, so I need to keep some health on my Wormadam, because I don't know what's in the back. We're going to be able to farm this down, but that was kind of poor play by me. So let's see what comes back in. It's going to be the Dragalge, and yeah, I mean, now we need to just hope that Azu is playing the back, and it's a Nidoqueen and it's Shadow. And this is kind of amazing, right? Because we just need to get to an Ice Beam. The Poison Fang, while obviously it does huge damage, it's not like a Sludge Wave that is actually going to take us out. So we get to this Ice Beam and takes them out. And now Dragalge, you know, it's not going to have Gunk Shot, and if it does, we'll outpace it and easily take them out. It's just the reason I really like Dragalge. It's a poison type that loses to the fairies hard, unless you're running Gunk Shot, which I think a lot of Dragalges are going to start doing. So we're going to instant swap this time, which I'm not sure if it's the right play. Again, this was my first play with the team, so I was kind of testing out the different strategies, and also there's not like a hard meta. Obviously there's good Pokemon, but you can see here, like behind this Dragalge there's a Fortress, which is super random. So we're gonna just barely get to the second move, and they're gonna have to give us a shield. And this is great. Either we get Switch and they get no farm, or they shield and we come in with Escav and farm all the way down. And we know they have a Dragalge in the back, so this energy is very valuable. I'm scared that they're gonna bait me, but it's not worth no shielding. And they do Earthquake, which is great. That would do so much damage. And they bring back in the Dragalge. We throw one for good timing, and if they shield this, I'm gonna just swap. Actually, I'm not, because I'm scared if I just hard swap into the Toxapex, they can just basically farm me down, right? So I want to keep this healthy. I'm easily going to outpace them to the next one, and they make a catch on Scizor. I kind of expected a Scizor with a Fortress, kind of like a thick Bug Steel to bait out the Bug Steel on, so with Scizor in the back. And I was scared they're at the move, reveal the Azu, and they're just going to top left. Toxicroak lead is kind of bad. Obviously, all of our mons have planned to this, and they instant switch, which is kind of weird, because it's a really good matchup into Toxicroak. And they bring in a what do you call it? Spark Charger Bug. And again, this is terrible, right? Not going to bait, because if we bait and they no shield, they can probably still win the zeros. So I'm going to make sure I get a shield here. And even if I shield this, they probably outpace me to the next. So I don't even think it's worth attempting to shield. But it's so bad. They did give up a shield, but look how much HP this is. I'm going to have to give up a shield here and throw energy if I don't want to eat a discharge, which is kind of shocking. So we're going to get a little bit of overcharge throw. I thought that was on the CMP, but it's one before. So decent, and they bring back in the Toxicroak. But now we've got an energy advantage, right? But it's a Mud Shot Toxicroak, which is why they swapped out. So Mud Shot pays the same as, what's that Mud Boy? Anyways, the one with Mud Bomb Stone Edge. So it's 5-4 to Mud Bombs now. So they're much spammier, but even though this fast move isn't resisted, it's doing so little damage. We make a mistake here and also throw on the CMP, and I should undercharge it. So I'm gonna try, but how do you undercharge a player rough on a Greninja? I don't know. So I just kind of hoped, did a random thing. I thought it was way too many bubbles, but it was perfect. And we're just able to get to this player rough, and yeah, because the Mud Shots are doing so little, we're able to farm them down. They had to come out with 2 moves, right? So easy. Okay, Toxapex. As long as it's not on Azu, it's amazing, right? We severely outpace them also, so we're going to just keep throwing these draw runs, and because Brian is so cuck and we resist the Sludge Wave, they have to throw Brian. So this is one of the matchups we can no shield onto Escav. As you can see, it only does like 35%. And they try and catch on the Sableye, and I've got a great response to this, but I probably should have thrown a move there. because either they respect the Mega Horn or they go down. If they take switch here, actually it's not so bad because my Azu's on this, but you know, I'm going to throw this play rough. That would easily take out the Sableye, and I don't think they built up to the turn, but if they foul play me here, I survive and I'm going to take the second shield. So it's kind of a waste from them. They could probably have rather just shielded and farmed me down, but this is kind of bad, right? They did use both shields, but look how much energy, HP that Sableye still has. Can't farm this down, so I'm going to bring in my Escav. We get a turn lag on the come in, so I lose CMP, or it doesn't even throw my move, and then I could just throw Draw Run into that Sableye. I don't know why I'm throwing Mega Horn, but they catch it anyways, and this is kind of bad. At least we catch this move on here. We've still got a shield, but if we didn't lag there, we take out the Sableye and save our shield, and we're in much better place. Now they come in here, they're gonna do so much damage to our, I don't even know what I should be shielding, and it was probably that, but I didn't know where the energy was. So we're going to take them out and try and see what's in the back, and this is Dragalge, and this is going to be super clutch. We have a shield, and we still have quite a bit of energy, and we throw 2, so the second Dragon Tail damage doesn't register yet, and the Draw Run is barely enough to take them out. So some misplays there, but we still managed to clutch it out. This is a great lead, right? And they bring in, so I learned after the fact, you want to throw a Draw Run, and it looked like they lag there, but somehow they CMP me, and we have to shield this. Escav, we need Escav. This is kind of bad. So I should be bringing in Azu here, because you're going to see, like, it's Bubble, which, obviously Azu resists, but if they get to 2 Shadow Balls here, which it looks like they're gonna, because we just confusion damages so slowly, we're a shield down. I'm hoping they bait, but they don't, and we just completely sack our Wormadam, and we lose switch, and we lose all that energy, and yeah, this is kind of bad news, bears. Good thing going for us is the Guzzlord has nowhere to go. They bring in a Toxicroak, and I'm going to be able to get 2 shields here, but I'm going to give them a lot of farm in the process. I don't even build it. I think I'm going to get farm down there, and I get nervous, and this is like worst case. A, I don't get this second shield, and B, I give them farm. So I'm going to come in here with Azu. I was considering shielding the first one, because now they can bait, right? Mud bombs and all they need. They're just going to farm off to 2 mud bombs. I'm going to shield one, and we're not going to be able to get to the move. So if I shielded that sludge bomb, they also give me another win con here, but even if I undercharge this, they just get off a Dragon Tail, a Dragon Claw, and take us out. So yeah, kind of poor play by me, but I wanted to keep in some of the games that obviously I didn't do great in, but as I was learning the team, so you can kind of see how to play better. So Jelly Safe Swap, you want to throw a Draw Run and swap into Azu. Okay, another Toxicroak leader. This is not where we want to see it. And I should also probably swap in Azu here, because they're obviously going to have an answer for this. Hydro Cannon does so much damage. Now, we can easily get a shield here, but they're going to take us out before we can take them out. So there's no, even if we start shielding in this matchup, we only get to an Iron Edge here, and this is good, but it's not great because they can no shield it, and they farm us all the way down. And now I can't even bring in Escav, right, because I'm going to have to 2 shields to farm this down. So I'm going to bring in the Azu, which is also kind of bad because I need the HP on Azu to take care of that Toxicroak. But with all this energy, we're in a pretty bad place. So I'm going to eat this last move and then come in and farm this down with our Escav. Hopefully before they get to the move we do, but we've given enough switch, we do have a shield advantage, but I'm scared that there's a Toxicroak, a Toxapex in the back. There's always a Toxapex in the back when I switch lock, reveal Azu, and then switch lock myself out of it. So they know that this is what they need to use to get rid of our Escav. These counters are doing so much damage. So I think, okay, my win con is to come in, farm this down, and unless it's a Toxapex in the back and we have no win con. And GG. Umbreon lead, this is amazing, obviously. They swap into a Toxapex. I'm going to just stay in here for a bit and do some chip. Wormadam does fine into this, but you know Toxapex, it's so bulky, it can kind of just flip matchups that neutral matchups that it's throwing double resisted poison jabs into. The Brian doesn't do much, but we're going to just, after that chip, come in and farm it down. And energy on Wormadam is actually really nice, because this Bug or Iron Head, Bug Buzz or Iron Head, such good coverage in this meta. So we're going to throw 2 for good timing. If you're a 4-turn move into a 3-turn move, you throw 2. You're going to land the Bug Buzz, no defense drop, and they're going to throw a move. Now, Foul Play is not going to take us out here, so we might get to another move. Even if we do, they're probably going to shield and farm us all the way down. But that's also fine, right? We have Escav for this. The problem with Escav is A, you don't resist the the dark moves. A, we get countered, denied there, which is terrible. But you don't resist the foul plays, and look how much damage that does. I no shielded. But with the Umbreon lead, they probably have fairy answers in the back, so I should be shielding. But oh no, I forgot. Because if I had acid spray on my Escav there, I'd probably throw it. And if they no shield that, then we just lose the game. So that's another reason not to run acid spray. Although, yeah, I don't know. One of my weaknesses is baiting. I feel like I never bait. Or when I do, the few times I do, it gets called, and then I hate baiting, so I never bait again. Which is why I don't really care to run acid spray. Also, I need my charge TMs for the rocket event. Carbink lead. The whole team does fine into this, right? Obviously with shields. Shields down, we do pretty tragically bad into this with our bugs. So we're going to throw this draw run on the CMP, which is 9. Again, we're going to shield this, and now we can farm up another 9, which is almost back to 2 draw runs, right? I should be throwing 1 before the CMP, but actually I'm going to catch this, which is also kind of fine. It's a lot of energy on Toxicroak. Escav. You're getting confused. And I'm going to see if I can farm this all the way down, and they're going to get to it in the middle of the last confusion. And this should be fine, right? It's only neutral from the bulkiest mon in the meta. And they bring in their own Wormadam, and now they're going to get a huge farm down here. But nice thing about opposing Wormadams, which is the same issue for our Wormadam, is for them to get to 2 moves, they need like 10 confusions, and it's just like, even though it's bulky, it almost never happens, right? So I'd rather no shield, so I'll come in with Azu to save my shield, and just get a nice bit of a farm here. I thought I could swap and throw my draw run before they came in, and I end up fucking having to shield the move that I caught on my super low Escav. They no shield the Mega Horn, assuming I might not have it, right? And yeah, we're just gonna now 2 shield farm through them. What am I saying? We're gonna farm them down through their 2 shields. So yeah, them calling a bait there. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they shield their Umbreon, then we still get to 2 moves, right? So they 2 shield their Umbreon, and then I can just throw all of this energy into their worm. Guzzlord lead, and they swap into a Scizor, and this is fine, right? This is where we want to see it, but they get the boost, and this is so bad, and I make a stupid play. I should have just shielded that and farmed down. I catch this here, because I'm thinking this is the worst thing into their Guzzlord. And they get to another one. So painful, and it takes us out. We lose switch, which isn't that important, but that's disgusting, right? If they don't boost there, we're in such a good spot. Ends up being a charger bug, which is kind of great, because this is where we want to see it, but there's no ways we get to enough moves to get rid of the shields to give Azu play into this matchup. So they're going to shield this. We're not even going to get to another one. They've got farm here, and there's no ways we're reaching 2 moves on Azu now. Unless they like try and wait, they Scizor. So this matchup, they only had Scizor. I thought they were on bad timing, but it is CMP, so we don't get punished. I thought they were baiting, so I shield this move because, you know, there's nothing Guzzlord's throwing at us that does more. But now, yeah, they shield that, and maybe I can farm this down in time because they only have Scizor. So this is going to get close. I think they're going to try and catch, and you see, I throw way too early here. I should eat a Dragon Claw here, farm up to the back-to-back. My only win con is to catch, they don't throw, and GG's. So kind of poor play by me. In the heat of the battle, I didn't, you know, spot my win con, and that's going to be all the battle. So a bit longer video today, but this team really worked well for me. Obviously, I kind of took out the super RPS games. There was some wins and some losses, but yeah, like Runarigus on the lead, or Golok on the lead, or Golbat, if they have an answer to your safe swap, which I was always using Wormadam as the safe swap, but I think if it's like a Golbat lead, it's not like they're going to have a Toxapex behind that, at least in my mind. So maybe Azu's a better safe switch there. But thank you so much. Please leave a thumbs up and like and subscribe.